What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a great day today. My channel name is College Football Frenzy, and today I'm excited to do the Maryland 2020 football schedule. Maryland last year was one of the very interesting teams in college football. After the first 2 or 3 weeks, people thought this was a top 25 team. I'm not even joking. I saw some people have them in their top 10. After they destroyed Syracuse, Syracuse was perceived to be a top 25 team this past season, people thought they were going to be. After they destroyed the Orange, people are going crazy about them, thinking they were going to be a very good football team. Unfortunately for the Terps, things dropped off from there. The Big Ten play happened, and they didn't do so good, and they only had a few wins on the season. Big Ten play was just brutal for them, and sometimes I don't blame them. Like playing Ohio State in the Horseshoe, playing Michigan, playing Penn State. That's brutal. I understand, but it was a tough ending to the season, in which the first 3 or 4 weeks start out absolutely great. But without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm excited to do this one. Number one, Towson should not be a problem for Maryland. This is an FCS school. Should be an easy win. 2, NIU. Hey, Northern Illinois University has been known to upset Big Ten schools. It could happen. I'm saying it's not going to happen, but it definitely could be close. But I'm taking Maryland. 3 at West Virginia. I think both these teams are similar talent-wise. Obviously, it helps that West Virginia has the home field advantage. I think really they're on the similar level. I think it's a close game. I'm going to take the Terps here, but I definitely think it could be close. I think it's a tough game for both teams. Just West Virginia, in my opinion, has definitely declined this past season. I don't really see any signs of them improving anytime soon. For a bye week, that's tough. Your bye week's pretty early. I will say a lot of Big Ten teams do have their bye week early, but it's tough to have it in week 4. 5, Minnesota. Tough game. Minnesota's very good, especially on the offense. You got Tanner Morgan returning, Rashad Bateman, the wide receiver core, and the run game is pretty fine, and you've got a great head coach with PJ Fleck. That's going to be a loss right there. 6 at Indiana. I think Indiana has some great returning production, so they're going to be just as good as they were last year, in my opinion. Probably another 8 or 7 win season for them. So I think they're a pretty good football team overall, the Hoosiers. And playing at Indiana, Maryland, that's a tough place to play. I'm going to take the Hoosiers here. 7 at Northwestern. People are saying Northwestern's going to rebound. I really don't buy all the hype. I think they're going to suck again, in my opinion. I really don't think they're going to be a bowl-eligible team. I think the Terps can win this one, but it definitely will be close. Northwestern will still put up a fight, no doubt. 8, Wisconsin. That's not going to be a win. That's not going to be a win. Unless Wisconsin pulls, what they did against Illinois, they should be fine, Wisconsin. No problem there. 9, Rutgers. Interesting. So the worst 2 teams, in my opinion, in the Big Ten East playing against each other. Interesting game, no doubt. I think Maryland's definitely better, but Rutgers just got Greg Schiano back. That definitely is going to help them. So it should be an interesting matchup. It's at Maryland, though. I'll take Maryland, but it could be close. At Michigan. Sorry, unless your name is Ohio State, you're not going to beat Michigan in the Big House. It's very hard to beat Michigan in the Big House unless your name's Ohio State. Few teams have done it, and I certainly don't think Maryland's going to do it. 11, Ohio State. If Ohio State, maybe they don't prepare for this. Maybe they're overlooking things and look at the Michigan game too ahead of time. Maybe it's that maybe they're like where they were 2 years ago when they lost, or no, they only won by 1 against Maryland. I remember that game. Ohio State played a terrible game. Actually, Maryland played pretty well as well. I got to give them credit. But maybe Ohio State pulls one of those games where they aren't prepared, and they could possibly, they could possibly make it an entertaining game. However, I think under Ryan Day, that's not going to happen as much. It shouldn't happen, and Ohio State's the much better football team. So, last time that Ohio State went to Maryland, it wasn't great for the Buckeyes. It pretty much ended their playoff chances. They obviously won the game, but it was only by 1, and Maryland nearly won 2-point conversion. So definitely I will say the Buckeyes, they can't overlook the game because they've been known to overlook games before, like Purdue, Iowa, and Maryland 2 years ago. So they can't overlook it. But talent-wise, of course, Ohio State. And I think Ryan Day, I don't think he's the type of coach to get upside. I think he takes it one game at a time. So I'll take the Buckeyes here. 12 at Penn State. Easy win. Again, as long as they don't overlook it, the name lines, same with Ohio State. As long as they don't overlook it, they should be fine. And 13 Michigan State. I think this could be close. Michigan State nearly lost to Maryland last year. Maryland gave them a great fight, and that was obviously at Michigan State. This is a home game for Maryland. I will say Michigan State losing Mark D'Antonio, their offense doesn't look great. No disrespect to Mel Tucker, but still, they're in a tough position right now. I will say Michigan State, I don't think is going to be bowl eligible. I really don't. But with that being said, they are a better football team they're a better football team than Maryland, in my opinion. I think it can be close, but Michigan State on paper is the better football team, but they could definitely make it competitive like they did last year, Maryland. So overall, I have the Terps. I feel like maybe a 4 or 5 win team next season. I think they can beat Townsend. I think they can beat NIU. I think West Virginia's a 50-50 ball game. I think Northwestern's a 50-50 ball game. And, Rutgers, I think that's a win. So when you average those all out, probably a 4-win football team, I would say. 4 wins, maybe 5 wins. I think 4 would be reasonable. 5 might be a stretch, and 3 might be the low. But 4 wins is where I think Maryland will land next year. Listen, no disrespect to them. I know they got a great wide receiver through recruiting. They got a great wide receiver. I think the number 2 wide receiver in the nation in this past season's recruiting class. I might be wrong, but I know he committed to Maryland. That definitely helps. But still, at the end of the day, the Big Ten East is tough, and that Michigan through Michigan State, that stretch the last 4 games of the season. That's a tough stretch. I understand they played good against Michigan State last year, but I don't necessarily know if it can happen again. And the start of the season, even Minnesota, West Virginia, Indiana, those games can wear you down. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you for joining in. Please make sure to like and subscribe, comment. I'll really appreciate it. Likes and subscribes really do matter. It helps me with content. I'll really appreciate that. But yeah, overall, Maryland 4-8. But that's it for now, guys.